Hey guys, welcome to my What's for Dinner. So, these are going to be a few dinner ideas for you, along with the smart points for my myWW green. To first start these off, I'm going to be making kind of like a spaghetti, but it's a cheese tortellini with a very simple meat sauce. So, to start these off, I am just going to be filling my pot with some water. I will be cooking the tortellini in this. I already measured this out, so this is 81 grams of Trader Joe's cheese tortellinis for 6 points on WW Green, although I'm sure it's the same for all three programs. To my water that is boiling, I am just going to be adding some pink salt. It just helps them not stick together as much. And then I'm going to be adding my tortellinis. These will only cook for about 5-7 minutes, so watch that so your noodles don't get mushy. In my pan, I am going to be cooking up some extra lean ground beef. This is the 96.4 that I also get from Trader Joe's. I defrosted this in some hot water, so that's why it's kind of liquidy. But I'm going to be cooking that down, and then I will only be using about 2 ounces of this for 1 point. To that ground beef, I am just going to be adding some onion powder, pepper, and some garlic powder. Really easy seasonings, and then I will cook that down until all of my beef is cooked all the way through. My tortellinis are all done, and as you see, they do expand, so it's not as little as an amount as you probably would think. So in a strainer, I'm just going to drain the water out and hold these aside until that beef is done cooking. Once my beef is cooked all the way through, I am just going to be placing this on a plate just lined with a paper towel to get any excess fat off of that. To that pan that I just took the meat out of, I am going to be placing a half a cup for 3 points of this Rayo's homemade marinara. This is by far the best marinara I have ever had. Highly suggest trying it. I got this at Costco in a 2-pack for only like $10. Then I have my scale out. I'm going to be placing a plate on top, zeroing that out and weighing out 2 ounces of that extra lean ground beef for only 1 smart point. Then I'm just adding that to that sauce. I'm gonna let that heat up, and then this is just going on top of the tortellinis. That meat sauce is just going to be placed right on top of my tortellinis. I'm just going to be topping mine off with some dried oregano and dried basil just for a little bit of color. This whole bowl, which is so much food in my opinion, came out to only 10 points on WW Green. This night I had the points for it, so I used them. And this is something Eric really loved too, something that I think you and your family will love. You can totally do like a 0-point marinara, whatever you want to kind of lower the points a bit too, but try that, Rayo's. I promise you, you will love it if you like marinara. The next dinner I have for you is Taco Bell's fake out, in quotations, 5-layer burrito. Of course, it's not Taco Bell, but your girl loves Taco Bell, and this is my favorite from there, especially with kind of like a crispy tortilla. So I am going to be taking one package of Trader Joe's extra lean ground beef yet again. As you can tell, this is one of my favorite things. So I am cooking this up, and I will say, I think they labeled this wrong because there is never ever this much fat in it. So I drained it as much as I could at the end, but I am just cooking this until the beef is all the way cooked through. Now I'm just going to start the assembly for these. I am taking La Tortilla Factory low carb tortillas. These are 1 point a piece. I usually use Olay's Extreme Wellness Wraps, but I was at Sprouts. This is what they had, and they were only 1 point. They were okay. They kind of had like a weedier taste than the other ones, but they did the job. They were good, and I would buy them again. So I am going to have 2 of these for my dinner for 2 points. Then I'm going to be taking my Tostitos salsa con queso, placing that on my scale, zeroing it out. I will be doing 33 grams between the 2 tortillas for only 1 point. And it's usually like 2 points for 2 tablespoons, but this is why I highly recommend weighing your stuff out. So each of those get a good amount of queso. Then I'm going to be placing 2 ounces of these fat-free refried beans. So each tortilla will have 1 ounce, and you can have 2 ounces of this for 1 point. Now I'm going to be adding roughly about 2 tablespoons of this Fage 0% non-fat plain Greek yogurt in place of my sour cream. Here I have 2 ounces of that 96.4 extra lean ground beef. I'll be eating both, so it's not exact, but roughly about 1 ounce on each one. That is all that is going in my burritos. Technically, this is a 4-layer burrito. I get that, but Taco Bell adds an extra one and then adds that queso in between. So anyways, these are just going to get rolled up, and I'm going to be putting these on the stove, getting those beans and cheese nice and hot and melty. In a pan just over medium-high heat, I am going to be placing my 5-layer burritos on here and getting them all hot and melty, getting those tortillas kind of crispy, but not too much. And that is it for my Taco Bell fake out 5-layer burritos, which are really 4 layers, but they're so easy to put together. Both of these are only 5 points for the both of them. So good. Dinner number 3 was chicken tacos. These are super easy to make, very low in points, especially if you can find some lower point tortillas. Here I did some carb counter snack size ones, which were perfect for these. To start these off, I am going to be cooking down my Trader Joe's chicken. They're like Pollo Asado. So here I am spraying a large pan with some nonstick cooking spray, and then I will be adding that entire package of chicken and cooking that until it is all the way cooked through. After about 10 minutes, my chicken was all done on the stove. So here I am just taking it and placing it on a cutting board. I am going to let this rest for just a few minutes. That way I don't dry out my chicken completely. After I let this rest for just a few minutes, I'm going to be chopping all of this up. For my portion, I am going to be taking 4 ounces of this Pollo Asado, and I will be having that for 2 points on WW Green. I'm going to be taking 3 of these carb counter snack size tortillas for 2 points and putting those on my plate. That way I can start assembling my tacos. So here I am going to be taking that 4 ounces of chicken and dividing it between my 3 tortillas. I am going to be adding just a spoonful of these diced green chilies. And then these will be going on the stove in that same pan that I cooked the chicken in. And I am just going to get the sides all nice and crispy. And to finish my tacos off, I am going to be placing right around like a tablespoon or 2, I would say, of this plain non-fat Greek yogurt. I don't really feel the need to measure it. And then I just do a squeeze of fresh lime. I'm adding some diced tomatoes that I had previously chopped up. I'm going to be doing some shredded cabbage, taking out the huge chunks of it. I love shredded cabbage on tacos. It just gives it like that extra crunch that I feel like lettuce kind of misses with these. Ignore my cat, and yes, I always clean my counters. To that, I am going to be adding right about 2 tablespoons of this Kirkland Salsa. And to finish it off, I am doing 28 grams of pre-measured fat-free shredded cheese, adding some limes for garnish, and my tacos are all done. And this entire plate is only 4 points. It's going to be 2 points for the chicken and 2 points for the 3 tortillas. So here we go with dinner number 4. It's actually kind of a breakfast idea, but I thought it would fit well in this kind of a breakfast for dinner, brinner kind of a thing. So this sandwich only came out to 5 points, and it was my first time trying to do one of these. I saw it on Delish and then on Instagram, so I was like, how easy. So here I am going to cut off 1 ounce of this Butterball's breakfast turkey sausage, and I will be weighing that out. So to get my little breakfast omelet sandwich thing ready, I'm going to be cooking that breakfast turkey sausage until it's all the way cooked through. I will be kind of crumbling it to like ground turkey sausage, if you will. And then I am going to be ripping up 1 piece of Canadian bacon. That doesn't count for any points at 0. And then that turkey sausage is only 1 point. So I'm going to do that. And then I will show you guys how I do the rest. So once I have my meat cooked, I'm going to be spraying my pan again because I'm going to be adding egg whites now, and I don't want that sticking whatsoever. So just with some nonstick cooking spray, generously spray that pan. And then I'm going to be adding 1/2 cup of liquid egg whites for 1 smart point. To my egg whites, I am going to be adding just a little bit of pepper and salt just to give it some extra flavor. And then I'm going to be adding my bread now. So I'm taking 2 slices of this Nature's Own sugar-free bread. It's only 1 point per slice. So in the video, it had showed me you kind of dip it and then flip it, and it actually turned out really well. So I would recommend doing it how I'm doing it because it worked. So here it is going to sit like that until we flip the whole thing over. So you want your egg whites to be pretty cooked through for this. This was my very first time making this and doing it this way, and I cannot even tell you guys how proud I was of myself for doing that flip, and I did not really break it. So here you're just going to fold those sides over onto those 2 slices of bread that have your meat and everything on it, you know. So easy, especially if you can get this down. I feel like the more you do this, the better you would get at it, you know, just like anything. So then you want to let those sides of the bread that are on the pan get nice and crispy. And then here I am going to be adding 1 slice of this fat-free cheese. It's something that I just got at Walmart. Of course, you can use any kind of cheese, but this was so good with this. Just some good old American cheese. That slice of cheese is only 1 smart point, and then I'm going to be adding some everything but the bagel seasoning on top of that. This is optional. You can do it on top of your bread inside. You don't even have to put it if you don't have it, but it just gives it that extra, like, I don't know. It's so good in here though. So then you just take that piece, that top, flip it over so that the ends meet, and then just ensure that your bread is nice and toasty before you take it off the stove. I'm going to be spraying the bread pieces with some I Can't Believe It's Not Butter spray for 0 points. Once I flip it, I'm going to spray the other side as well. And my breakfast omelet sandwich thing is all done. I will cut it in half to show you guys the inside. It's all cheesy and yummy. This is such an easy thing to do, and I think it's actually a pretty cool twist on like an omelet or just like your regular breakfast sandwich. And it's pretty low in points. This whole thing is only 5 smart points. And here we are at dinner idea number 5. I am doing rice cauliflower stir fry with teriyaki chicken. I kind of cheated and used Trader Joe's rice cauliflower. You can totally do your own with just some frozen cauliflower and your own veggies. I always end up adding more veggies, more cauliflower rice and all that, as you will see. So first I am going to get started on my chicken. I'm going to be cooking this up in my Ninja Foodie. To my chicken, I am going to be adding some pepper, some pink salt, some onion powder, and garlic powder. So I have my Ninja Foodie preset to 375 degrees. I have to always spray this thing so my chicken or whatever I'm cooking in here doesn't stick, just like you would if you were using like a sheet pan. So I am adding both my large chicken breasts. I'm going to be cooking these for 30 minutes, flipping them at the 15-minute mark, and then my chicken will be all done. To get started on my cauliflower fried rice, I am going to be spraying a large pan with some nonstick cooking spray. I use this stuff all the time. I probably abuse it, but you know what? It's 0 points, so I'm going with it. To that, I am going to be adding this entire bag of cauliflower stir fry. And then I'm going to be adding 2/3 of a cup of these mixed veggies. They are just the frozen ones I got at Walmart. These scanned to 0 points. I don't know how true that is because we have to count for corn and things like that on green, but I just went with it. So you can kind of add as little or as less as you want, but I like to bulk this up. That way I have leftovers. I am going to be seasoning my cauliflower rice up with some garlic powder, some onion powder, pepper, and then I will be doing 2 tablespoons of soy sauce and 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. And then I will end up adding my own cauliflower rice, like I said, to just bulk it up, have leftovers. I've made this before and I remember putting 2 tablespoons of soy sauce in there. I did it this time without the extra and then I remembered it, so you'll see me add that. If you're only making it just as this is, I would only recommend doing 1 tablespoon of soy sauce or you're going to have a sodium overload. And this is the low sodium soy sauce. I just have it in a regular Curcumin thing. That's just what I had. So just to avoid any confusion. So here is where I'm going to be adding about 5 to 6 ounces of my own frozen cauliflower rice, like I said, just to bulk it up. My chicken is all done cooking in my Ninja Foodie. Just so you guys know, I love that thing. It does like air fryer, grill, it bakes. Love the thing. And no, it's not sponsored or anything. So as I had that going, I am adding another 1/3 cup of veggies. Like I said, these were just coming up as 0 points. So I went with it and I love veggies and whatever I eat. So I'm going to cook this until everything is nice and incorporated and all of those veggies are cooked down. But you don't want to cook it down so much that your cauliflower rice is mushy. So just kind of watch out for that. If anything, I would add all the veggies at one time and all of the cauliflower at one time. So as the rice is pretty much done cooking, here I am going to be creating a hole in the middle of my cauliflower rice, spraying it with some nonstick cooking spray. Then I will be adding 2 eggs. That is 4 points on green, but once you put this in the recipe builder, it only comes out to 2 points per serving. So here I just mix it until the eggs are scrambled, and then I start incorporating it once the eggs are more scrambled, I guess. I don't know the freaking word for it. But super easy, and the eggs add that like nice fried rice kind of feel to this, which I really love. Then I am going to be taking my chicken that's been resting for about 5 minutes and cutting this up. So I am going to be having 4 ounces of this Kirkland chicken for only 1 point to go along with my cauliflower stir fry fried rice. Then I am going to be taking a 1/2 cup measuring cup, and I will be eating 1.5 cups of this. And if I remember correctly, this made 4 servings. I don't think it made 3. This was like a week ago that I actually made this. So either way, just put it in your recipe builder. Just double check. So this is 3 scoops, 1.5 cups for 2 points. And then my chicken will be 1 point. And to finish my bowl off, I am going to be adding 1 tablespoon of this G. Hughes sugar-free teriyaki marinade to the top of my chicken just for a little extra flavor. Of course, you can skip this step. You can also just incorporate that chicken inside of that cauliflower stir fry. Totally up to you. This is just what I was feeling for this night. So this is my 3-point dinner for night number 5 of my week of dinners. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this gives you some sort of food inspiration for you and your family. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.